think it's working. It's counting down, so I'm assuming it is. Anyway, I had a really good supervisory experience, and I was surprised, I guess, to learn that a lot of people in my class, anyway, did not have such a good supervision experience.
Mm-hmm.
So that may be part of it sometimes.
I think your point that you made is I had a really good supervisor and internship, and I'm trying to measure them up to her, and
Mhm.
that's not going to happen.
There you go. That's it right there. Yeah. Although, I mean, part of it too, I think I've learned from this is that what I'd like to do, I think you and I have developed a pretty good rapport, but what I'd like to do is meet with the person that I hope to supervise, and we can see if we're going to fit before that, because you don't always fit with everybody, just like in counseling. And when you go into supervision, it's a contract for at least 6 months, usually. So, you really want to make sure you have a good fit when you do that. So, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I just was like, man, like, I thought I was getting the cream of the crop, and then, I mean, like, she's good at what she does, don't get me wrong, but it's like, when they get your own personal business, when it's not necessarily theirs to get into, like.
Did you open the door for her to get into that business or not?
Well, what's kind of funny is she knows I go see that therapist because she's literally down the hall from that therapist.
I'd forgotten that. That's right. So you're in the same office when you do that. Yeah.
So that's not necessarily the best thing ever.
So is that how you found her? Through your own therapist?
Yes and no. I had other colleagues that had her for supervision as an intern, not as an LAC.
Right.
And that's a big difference, in my opinion. And so they're like, oh, I like her, and so anyway, I thought, okay, cool, she has all this experience, and, if I trust my therapist in the way that she does her counseling and therapy style, I would like this person, and it's not like I hate her or anything, it's just we have two strong personalities and like conflict.
So that's something that I don't know that we've talked much about that in our class, but we are going to sometimes have conflict, and we don't always have to agree. Even if I'm your supervisor, you don't have to agree with everything I say. But, I think it's good to get another point of view, even if you don't agree. Or to get maybe some confirmation on your own viewpoint sometimes. I don't know. I think that supervision has its place in trying to challenge a new counselor, as well as in, trying to help them through. So maybe she's trying to challenge you in some of the things you do. I don't know.
I mean, in her opinion, she's like, you do a really good job. Like, you got some really tough clients. I do. And it's like, sometimes I just sit there and I'm like, are those degrees really degrees? Because I just really don't know where to even go from here. Because it's like, I have to stop and think. Because sometimes, if you don't stop and think, you put your foot in your mouth.
Oh, yeah, you do.
And it's like, sometimes I literally told one of my clients this morning, like, listen, I don't know what to tell you other than bring your family to family session because it's family dynamics. You need to be 14. You don't need to be adult. You need to enjoy the next 4 years of your life before you become an adult.
And sometimes you do have to say that. I don't know what to tell you. Because sometimes they don't have that control. And just like a 14-year-old, they don't have the control to bring their family in if the family is resistant.
Well, I don't think the family's resistant. I think it's, she has a grandmother that is literally like a stray dog, and that's very condescending, but like, I told her, I said, have you had a stray dog, stray cat come to your house? Yeah. I said, what'd you do? Well, we loved it, we pet it, we gave it bath, and I'm like, did it stay around? Yeah. I said, same concept for people who are very needy and like take advantage of you. It's that cut out the food and the water and the attention and maybe the stray dog will go away.
Quit feeding grandma. So that's, but again, not within the 14-year-old's control.
That's what I told her. I said, this is not your control.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes, you know, we just have to do the best we can with what we can and understand our limits. And that's what you're doing with her. You're helping her to understand her limits. What was her reaction to that?
With stray dog?
Yeah.
She's just like, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
does she want grandma around or does she
No,
want her? She doesn't.
no.
Okay.
She wishes her grandma dead.
Oh, that's kind of harsh. Yeah. Well, maybe they'll work that out with some family counseling, huh?
Well, the grandma that she's talking about is not coming to family counseling.
But the parents are.
Well, okay, we get the whole dynamics. I just
Okay.
need to spill this.
Okay.
So the dynamic is she's raised by her great grandparents.
Oh, okay.
So grandma has had 2 strokes, therefore I feel like she had a traumatic brain injury, in my opinion.
Mhm.
So anyway, she has turned into this very hardworking person, like doesn't ask for anything in the whole entire world, like very much
Grandma or great grandma?
grandma.
Okay.
So and then now, so she had these 2 strokes and she's on drugs and stuff. Now she has this like borderline narcissistic personality traits that's like, oh yeah, I'm entitled to all this, like,
Oh.
and like will like manipulate, like will like come begging at her mom's door and says, hey, I need some toilet paper, I need some milk, I need a new car, I need, you know, all this. And so my client over here who's 14 is like, I'm fed up with this.
Because grandma's taking advantage of great grandma who is raising me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's protective of her protector, so to speak.
Yes.
Wow.
But at the same time, she told me that if her great grandma had to have her legs amputated, she would put her in a nursing home because she didn't want to waste her life taking care of her. And I'm just like, I don't know what to say to that.
Well,
Like you see, that's like
I'm
how
sorry you feel that way, you know?
like I get a pickle.
Right. Well, it's at least, okay, look at it this way. She felt comfortable enough telling you that, you know, and I guess where you could go with that is good for you for expressing your emotions to me that way, you know, in an appropriate way, because I know that there's places you can't do that. You know, you can't
Well, because
tell.
I didn't, I asked her, I said, so what do you mean by wasting your life? So I went down that, and she's like, well, like, I don't want to be 30 still not have a life. I want to go to school. I want to have a family. I want to do this and this. And I'm like, okay. Like, so I didn't say, man, you're being so ungrateful or whatever because her grandma said that to her.
Right. Oh, her grandma, not the great grandma.
No, the great grandma asked her, will you take care of me? And then the granddaughter said, no, I won't waste my time on you.
The great grandma who is raising her. Oh, I thought she was talking about grandma who is mooching.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a little harsh. Yeah. So you didn't know what to say to that.
I'm like, she's taking you in and like I don't know. I just was like, I stopped and like, so what do you mean by that? And I was like, I'm gonna leave that alone because I don't know.
So what do you, where are you gonna go with that?
What the whole like I don't take care of the grandma.
Uh-huh. Because you understand her feelings. I mean,
Yeah.
and she may feel like she's the only one that is going to be chosen to do that.
Yeah.
So how do you? Where do you go with that? I wonder. What do you think?
I think right now because this is only this hour ago was the second session I ever had with her. So the first session, she just like, I ain't taking care of my grandparents, and I'm like, I don't have any rapport with you. Like, what am I doing? And so she was like, yeah, I'm gonna be locked up in a mental institution and all this, and like,
Has she been?
no.
No.
And I told her, I said, it's not as fun as what you think it is.
Right.
And so she's like, yeah, I thought about committing suicide, and so we did a safety plan and all that, but I'm just like, you don't want to go, I promise.
Well, I would work with her on empathy maybe a little bit, and
I think she's just fed up with all the chaos because no one will stand up to her moochy grandmother. And she's like, I am done, just.
where's her mom or dad?
Okay, well, I'm about to get to that.
Okay.
Her mom was on drugs,
Okay.
and just she has severe bipolar. She told me that today. Her dad, this little girl's a product of incest.
Okay.
Not her mom and dad got together, but her dad recently, about a couple months ago, raped her.
Oh, okay. What grandparent does she live with?
Her great grandparents.
Mothers or fathers?
Mothers.
Okay, so she is with her maternal family.
Yes.
Okay. And where's dad?
With her younger siblings, and she's like, I'm afraid of my younger siblings. Like their welfare and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Nothing happened to dad? Nobody
Yeah.
turned it in?
I asked her, I said, did you at least get medical care? No.
Has it been turned in?
That's a good question.
Because if not, aren't you a mandated
I am
reporter?
a mandated reporter.
Yeah. Yeah. So what are you gonna do?
She says, like, they got a lawyer, but like, it hasn't been turned in.
But what?
But it hasn't been turned in to the police.
Or DHS or anybody?
DHS.
She said that it hasn't been turned in.
That's what she said.
What do you need to do about that?
I need a report.
And how do you plan to go about that?
Well, you can turn in the fax, or you can call the number. It's probably it's quicker to turn in the fax, because they get to it quickly.
Okay. Okay. Do you feel the need to contact anybody else before you turned in or not?
I'm gonna talk to my supervisor this afternoon at 1 before I turn that in,
Mm-hmm.
so she's aware.
And who else should be aware, I wonder?
Mad.
Okay, probably so. Should you talk to great grandma or grandma or anybody, whoever her guardian is, or not?
My head's spinning, so I don't even like.
I mean, there's different ways that you can handle it,
Yeah.
you know? And I don't think it's a set, yes, I need to talk to the guardian, or no, I don't. Because definitely there are going to be some cases that you're going to run into along your way that you will not want to talk to the guardian probably. But in this one, and I don't know, I mean, you'll have to be your own judge of this is your case, but I might talk to the guardian if I had not known that sooner from an intake or something. So during the intake it didn't come up?
During the intake it came up, but it's like, oh yeah, her dad did this, but she never said, like, it was recent. She never said it was rape. It was never.
So during the intake on the paperwork, there is a place to ask the question, was it reported?
And like they said, yeah, it was taken care of. And then now the girl's saying that it wasn't.
So, I mean, it's a little bit of a dilemma, but it's not a big one. I always report if I feel like I need to, and better safe than sorry, you know? So yes, you're a mandated reporter, and if you don't feel like, if it's not been turned in, you definitely need to report it. So if you can't verify that it was turned in and has been dealt with, then yeah, you need to report that. if you can verify it some way, then it's already been turned in and it's already being handled. So you don't have to report it, I would assume then,
Right.
you know.
But the girl told me she never got any help, nothing like that.
Okay, so she may not have,
Because she shut down in the intake.
but you would think that if it had been reported and DHS had investigated, that she would have been sent to counseling.
But no, like this little girl had to go on her behalf and beg the school to get counseling.
She's the one that asked for help.
Right.
Wow. Well, then no wonder she just wanted to blurt it all out with you today, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's really looking for help. So good for her and good for you that you can help her with this. So I'm assuming Dad's out of the picture.
Dad keeps coming and going, she said.
Okay, I mean, I find that strange, but not the strangest thing in the world either, you know? Okay, but yeah, okay.
Dad's still around.